Hello there, listeners. My name's Tommy,
And my name's Aaron.
and welcome to the trailer episode for the Super Pod Saga. Aaron
It's gonna
and
be
I
great.
here. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. We are on a saga, a quest to discuss every single topic in the history of video games. All of them.
All of them. Yep.
Every single one. Each week, Aaron and I will bring a different video game topic to the recording studio, and we will discuss these topics for as long as they take.
We will. And if anybody tries to say they've done this before, we'll take them to court.
No, yeah,
Not really.
we have the copyright to podcasts. No one else can make a podcast after this.
hmm Right.
And in this trailer episode, we're going to give you some backstory on ourselves, and then give you, the beautiful listeners, a taste of what our discussions in future episodes will be like. Isn't that exciting?
That is exciting. We love you, listeners.
Yes, your listeners that don't exist yet, because this is just the trailer.
Yeah.
So to start, let's talk about the real stars, me and Aaron.
hmm
For me personally, my name is Tommy, and I have been playing video games my whole life. For me personally, I love video games as a medium because I feel like they can tell stories in a way that other mediums like books or movies or whatever can't. And I grew up on playing the PlayStation 1 and then moved to the GameCube, and I've had like a console from every generation since then and every Nintendo handheld. Uh, and now it's your turn, Aaron.
Okay. Well, yeah. My name is Aaron. And yeah, for those who don't know, me and Tommy we basically grew up together. I met in elementary school and all that. Yeah, I've played video games for as long as I can remember. It started with I think the original Nintendo, worked my way up to the PlayStation 1, and then yeah, just a whole jumbled mess of consoles here and there selling to and from GameStop. But yeah, I'm a big fan of RPGs. Anything that you can play on the DS or 3DS, because I'm terrible. And
Yeah, speaking of us growing up, fun fact, I had a GameCube, Aaron had a GameCube. I wanted to play Pikmin, and he was going to lend it to me, and he never did. And here we are, 15 years later. I've never played Pikmin.
I was hoping you'd bring this up. Yes. What was
Uh,
the trade? It was Pikmin for the Zelda Ocarina of Time
oh yeah, because I had the
GameCube
special
thing.
collector's disc thing, like that came with my GameCube that had like the
That's right.
the Master Quest, which is apparently super rare now, and I don't know where it is. It's gone forever.
Oh, if I had a dollar for every game that I sold that became just stupidly expensive, I would have quite a few dollars.
Right? You would have less money than you got for selling them, but you'd still
Exactly.
have money.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And today, the trailer episode, we've got one topic. It'll be quick. We haven't even discussed how long we're going to talk about things, but I'm fine with that. We could talk for like 17 hours, maybe, who knows.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
today's just a trailer, so it'll be quick. And today's topic of discussion is going to be video game trailers. Do you
Yes.
get it? Do you get it? We're talking video game trailers in our trailer. So, yeah, video game trailers are like the first time that you see a game. They're super important, and there have obviously been some memorable ones. So, Aaron, why don't you start? What's a video game trailer that was memorable for you?
This one is memorable to me because, in kind of an ironic way, but it was the Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin, the very first one from
Oh
E3,
my gosh.
just because it was so cheesy and just it was unintentionally comical, just chaos, chaos,
Chaos.
chaos.
That's the
And
first word that came to mind is chaos, but like the trailer is chaos and the purpose of it is chaos.
and it's just the main guy and two other people just punching things until they turn to crystals, and then they're just like headbutting things, and Oh, it looked so awesome, and I thought, wow, this is just gonna be a mess. And then it was, and then I never bought it.
Did they say the name of it like early on in the trailer, or did you not know what it was until the end when it revealed the name?
I think it came on like at the end because I thought
Yeah.
it was
And
made
even
by
at
like
that point,
some.
you're like, I still don't understand what this is.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be some like Sekiro, like Dark Souls thing. It was made by Team Ninja, but
Yeah.
nope, it's a Final Fantasy game.
A remake of Final Fantasy One. Madness. Um, one trailer that I picked two like that were actually good, and one that was like an example of how not to do a trailer. And the first one that I wrote was the Gears of War Mad World trailer from 2006. I saw it on TV all the time, and it just like set a tone that scared the crap out of me. Just with that Mad World song in the background and him running through these quiet streets and monsters peeking out, and then at the end there's a giant one. And back in 2006, I was like, graphics are never getting better than this. How is this even possible?
That that was such a. I remember when the original Gears of War came out, and I thought like, there's no way any video game is ever gonna top this. And then they
Yeah.
did two and three, and then they topped
And then other video games, of course.
it. Oh man. Um. Well, yeah. This one kind of counts as multiple, but like any trailer for like a new Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC character kind of got me really hyped up, especially
Yes.
Banjo Kazooie and the Dragon Quest Warrior because I love Dragon Quest and God, those were always so freaking hype. Um, oh, who's the one before Sora? I'm drawing a blank.
One
I
before
forget.
Sora. It was it wasn't Terry Bogard, was it? That was a weird one. Hold on, we're
No.
gonna Google it. Smash
Okay.
DLC characters. Keep talking about Smash stuff.
And then there was the oh man, let me look at my amiibos real fast and I'll tell you.
It says them in order. Kazuya.
Oh yeah, the
Kazuya.
Tekken. Yeah, yes, Kazuya Mishima from Tekken. Oh, that was dope as hell. Everybody
I
else was like, another fighting game character. It's like, you don't understand, these are Tekken. Like probably one of the longest running fighting game series.
I love whenever they did a fake out in the trailers. They were so good at doing the fake outs where they even did like a reverse fake out for Banjo Kazooie, didn't they? Like they showed the silhouette, and you were like, "Is it?" And then it was someone from Donkey Kong, and you're like, "You
Hmm.
jerks! Why would you do that?" And then it actually was Banjo Kazooie.
That was yeah. Those are always so good to me. You
The
can't
yeah,
see
and the
the score.
Sora one closing it out too. That was a really good one. Oh, good choice, good pick.
But also, I'm gonna let everybody know that I really wish that they had done Crash Bandicoot as a Smash
Yes,
DLC character.
yes.
That's always disappointed me. But I'm gonna close my entry on that.
And I'm gonna keep it open a bit longer and say, "Where's my Rayman? Give me
Mm,
Rayman."
yes.
Okay, I'm going off on a tangent, but I don't care.
Okay.
We can do that. I
This is our
remember,
podcast.
yeah, exactly. They on the Smash subreddit, someone posted a picture, and I don't remember what stage it was, but it had like ice crystals in the background.
Oh, that was the
And
battlefield.
if you zoom in on one of the ice crystals, it looked like Rayman was in one of those ice crystals. And
I remember that.
I'm sold. That's it. That's Rayman right there.
I He would have been he would have been perfect for Smash. Cause like his like neutral B could have been hit his little like detached hand like charge up punch
Hmm.
thing, and his up B could have been like the hair helicopter thing. They could have done so much with it, but instead they went with like Terry Bogard is cool, but they had Rayman Crash.
It's a
They had
shame.
Rayman Crash.
My second pick is this is another one that was really good. I've seen some people call it the best video game trailer ever, and I don't know if I could disagree. It's the Dead Island trailer from 2011. The
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, that was crazy. I just watched it to get caught up on this. It's a 3 minute long trailer, and for
Man.
those who haven't seen, it starts off with like a dead girl on the ground, and
Mhm.
it starts going in reverse, like time is reversed, and she's like going back up through the air and into a building, and the trailer is going backwards in time and forwards in time from the beginning until they meet at the same point. And it tells a story through the whole thing. Like you see this girl, you're like, oh, that's sad, that little girl's dead. And then it shows her in reverse time that she was a zombie and was thrown out the window. And you're like, oh, okay, well, F her then.
Yeah,
That was really
yeah.
unfortunate. But then you get to see more and see that it was the daughter of the people that are fighting the zombies. And it's just really well made, really emotional, and had absolutely nothing to do with the actual game itself.
Oh my god, I remember when that game, like when it was still in development, I thought, oh, so it's just gonna be Dead Rising, but on an island, and then it was actually it was pretty good actually.
Yeah, it was really cool on its own. Did you know that Dead Island 2 is still in development?
Yep, since 2013,
Yeah, it
maybe.
looks like
Yeah,
2014 was the E3 trailer.
that's right. Yeah,
2014, 8 years
was it?
ago.
They keep switching developers. I think there's supposed to be like Deep Silver, and then like two other people had it, and
Yeah,
then they were just like, they just like dropped the ball.
yeah. I don't know if we'll ever see it. I mean, they say they're still developing it, but it's been so long,
Yeah, I've just kind of lost hope on that one.
right?
And it takes place in California. That's not. I'm
No,
pretty sure it
totally.
takes place in California.
Yeah, yeah. I remember being all coastal and stuff. Do you have any other memorable trailers?
Uh, I kind of saved like my best. Well, not really my best for last, but like the uh the Dragon Quest 11 trailer. Um, or Dragon Quest 12. I'm sorry, the newest one that's like in development, but is now yet Dragon Quest 12 because they didn't like. I mean, even if they didn't show anything at all about the game, it sounds. I guess like the trailer itself was just it just said Dragon Quest 12 and
Yeah.
the date.
Correct me
But
if I'm
what?
wrong. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Dragon Quest XI was like that one reached a wider audience than normal, and then like just even
Yep.
seeing a trailer for Dragon Quest 12, it's got like way more hype than usual because so many more people are involved with the Dragon Quest franchise. Or maybe I'm just saying that because I've never experienced one till 11.
No, I mean that's entirely true. Yeah, because like for before 11, uh, in the U.S., we have like rarely ever got a Dragon Quest game because I think it was um pretty much like 1 through 7 started out in Japan, started going on the NES, the PlayStation. But no, no, 12 just sounds so badass. I mean, like I said, the trailer was just it just said Dragon Quest 12, and then like the
Mhm.
dude came out and said that's gonna be like darker choices, like an
Yeah,
impact on the story. That sounds
yeah,
that sounds pretty badass.
absolutely. For my third one, it's an example of how not to do a trailer. Do
Hmm.
you remember the reveal for Artifact, the card game from Valve in 2017?
I think so. Yeah,
they
yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
revealed it at like the Dota championships or something. I'm not even sure. And Valve doesn't make games anymore. They have like it was Half-Life 2 episode
I
3, which
remember
was like
this.
15 years
Yeah.
ago, and that was it. And so them revealing a trailer for any game is a huge deal, an absolutely
Yep.
massive deal. And so the trailer is just a bunch of nonsense. It's just like these crystals getting broken apart and gems or whatever. And then it flashes on the screen, Artifact, and people start clapping. They're like, yeah. And then on the bottom it says, a Dota card game. And everyone in the audience all at once goes, oh.
I remember that.
It's so embarrassing. You gotta know your audience and like you can't be Valve and bring a card game as your comeback game.
That gave me a really good idea for my next one too. God,
Ooh.
and I just to add to yours, like, what the hell, Val? Like, they have so many franchises that are just
Yeah, and Artifact's dead now too. That was a complete disaster from beginning to end.
like they could have made like another Team Fortress, and that's compete with like Overwatch, and that would have been badass. They could have finally made Half-Life 3 God rest its soul. Like, I'm sure it's never gonna
Did
happen.
did you hear how Artifact worked, like with the monetization, like how you would buy it and get cards and stuff?
It sounds awful, but
Literally the
please tell
worst thing
me.
I've ever seen. It was $20 to buy the game, first of all, which in the world of card games is absolutely unheard of. And then if you wanted to buy more card games, you could do that on the Steam marketplace and buy individual cards from other people, which is with
What?
like real money.
Ugh. Like, was
This
there at least like in-game currency or?
I don't think there was. I think that was the whole thing was like they wanted people to use their marketplace. They claimed it was more consumer friendly because you could get whatever card you wanted, but
If I had a desk, you would hear my hands slamming down furiously. That's I get that sounds like a good idea. Like like a digital card game that resembles a physical card game, but it's also stupid because it's a digital card game.
yeah, booster packs are $2 real cash. You can buy and sell specific cards on the
Uh,
Steam marketplace, but you can't trade them. You can also win cards by playing certain game modes, but these game modes require tickets, which you have to pay money for.
God, that's awful. That's god
Unreasonable.
awful. That reminds
But
me. Go on, sorry.
I was gonna say, but it's dead now. It's gone. They canceled it. It's
Good,
never coming to light.
good. Fuck it. That reminds me of and I apologize for going off the rails here, but like that reminds me of the oh, I think it was called like it was a Yu-Gi-Oh game before Master Duel. There was Yu-Gi-Oh. I think it was like Legacy of the Duelist or something like that. And like the original version from back in like 2015, I think. Um, they kept coming out with like more and more like expansions for it that added like more cards to it. Now, the original game was like $50. The base game was $50, and each like expansion pack was an extra $10.
Oof.
And me being a huge old Yu-Gi-Oh card weeb, I bought every single expansion. Um, yeah, I kind of regret saying that now, but
Okay. Did
I
you
spent too much money on a game that I paid money for at first.
did you ever have the Game Boy Advance Yu-Gi-Oh games?
Oh
I'm
yes,
just I'm
Stairway
just
to the
thinking
Neptune
back.
Duel.
How did we even do that? The Game Boy Advance screen is so small, and you're playing a card game, and the Yu-Gi-Oh cards have like paragraphs of what they do on them. How did you do that?
There was. Did you ever play the one on the Game Boy Color?
No, I never played any Yu-Gi-Oh games.
That
I wasn't into them.
that's all good. Oh my God, me. Do you are we okay to name drop on this, or should I?
I feel like we can use first names. First names would
Okay,
be
so
fine.
uh, I guess you'll probably remember him more if I use the last name.
I know who you're gonna talk. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, we'll say AM.
There we go. Yep, I know.
We 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 uh we traded the Yu-Gi-Oh games all the time. Like I would play like his Game Boy Color one on my advance, vice versa, all that junk. And now that I think about it, yes, those screens were so small, and the pixels were the whole screen was like one massive pixel. How did that
Yeah.
work?
You
Yeah.
did you have the Game Boy Micro?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I remember seeing that thing.
Yep.
It's for those that don't know, that's like smaller than a single card. It's unreasonably small. It shouldn't exist.
It was at the time it was so cool, and it was like, oh, you have interchangeable faceplate. This one's white.
Yeah,
This one's solid black. And then I lost mine because it's tiny and there's no like little wristband thing.
so tiny. Like if listeners look up a picture of the Game Boy Micro and just have your blind mind blown. Like I always try to imagine Shaquille O'Neal playing it because I don't think he could.
Oh, by the way, the Game Boy Micro is so hard to find now. They're so expensive.
This one on
But yes,
eBay says it's $265.
that's more than I'm willing to pay for that. That little piece of shit. The
Oh,
the
okay. No, go on.
no, I was just the original Game Boy Advance was just so slick. and then they killed it with the micro. The micro was a cool idea, but the original Game Boy Advance was awesome. Go.
I like the lowercase letters on the A and B though. I forgot that they did that because it's
Oh yeah.
smaller, so they have lowercase letters. I was just gonna bring back another memory of trading games in school. I had a Pokemon Yellow on the Game Boy Color, and a friend at the time in elementary school, one of the Matts, asked if he could borrow it, and I was like, "Yeah, go ahead."
Oh,
I was like,
oh,
"Don't."
what was the initial of his last name? I might know who you're
R.
talking about. R. Oh, I have a good
I
story about him, but I can't say it on this.
I
Go.
have one too that I
Sorry.
can't say on this, but this one I can. He asked if he could borrow it, and I was like, "Yeah, go ahead, just don't save it, because as long as you don't save, then I can just pick up where I left
Yeah.
off." And we're in elementary school, so we're children, literally children. And he comes back to me at the end of the recess, and he's crying. And I'm like, "What happened?" And he's like, "I hit new game, and I saved, and it saved over everything." And so I started crying too. We're both standing there crying. And he was like, I tried catching up to where you were. And I was like 25 hours in. It was impossible to do in one
Oh,
recess. And I was like, eventually I was like, I understand. It's okay. I can get back to there. But it was just funny that you just walked us, two little kids just crying while holding a Game Boy.
I have. This is a separate good story from the other ones that I have. It's a video game one, so it ties into our podcast. So it's cool. So I'm pretty sure it was in either I think it was middle school because he moved away in high school,
Hmm.
something like that.
Hmm.
Um, so I let him borrow my copy of Final Fantasy VII, I think, and he had it for like it was a good like 3 months, and he said like, oh, I'm just gonna play it, beat it, I'll give it back to you. And I mean, I guess it is a long game, 3 months. I was a kid and stupid. So 3 months go by. I was like, hey man, are you done with that? Like, can I have it back? And he was like nah. And then like a year went by, and he came back and was like here's your game back. Oh, I lost one of the discs, and
Oh.
I was furious. Like this shit's unplayable, dude. You might as well have just kept it at that point.
Oh, I thought I remembered that story, but it was different. It was worse. I thought I remembered him giving it back, and it was just scratched to heck and like
No,
unplayable.
that is what it was. Yeah, it was scratched to hell. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh
My bad.
man.
That was right.
It's okay. I just remember your video game memories better than you do. What a
Oh,
nightmare.
and then there was I apologize if he was a bit way off the rails here, but there was another kid in school growing up. He was great younger than us. His name was William.
Yep.
What was it? I had the first Golden Sun Game Boy Advance. He
Hmm.
had the sequel one, The Lost Age, and he would always ask me questions about the story because like the second one picks up exactly where the first one left off, like almost immediately.
Mhm.
And God, that was a good. That was good.
I actually have a specific memory with William as well, but I'm going to save that for a future episode. It'll actually be next week, I'm assuming. But
Okay.
yeah, that was video game trailers and video game trailers that were memorable to us.
I have another good trailer actually
Oh,
before we dip out of this,
yes, do it, do
and
it.
it's a pretty quick one. You remember the trailer for Diablo Immortal? Yeah, Diablo
I
Immortal,
remember the reaction
mobile
and
game.
afterwards to it. I don't remember the trailer itself, but I was contemplating picking this one too.
It was like the trailer made it seem like because it was like a cinematic, it wasn't actual like
Mhm.
yeah, it made it seem so cool. Like, are we actually like a remake of one of the other Diablos? And they're like, it's Diablo Immortal on like iOS and Android or whatever. And everybody was like, boo.
That's that's the same thing that Valve did too, because Diablo 3 came out in 2012. I just Googled it. And obviously everyone wants Diablo 4, and they're like, here's a phone game.
Like, I get that like mobile games are cool to some people, but to people who have been massive fans of Diablo for so long, being mainly PC players, that was they kind of did them dirty with that.
Yeah, and just reveal that trailer on YouTube. Just post it on YouTube someday. Don't do it at your keynote event, at your keynote
Oh,
thing. And the guy, I'll never forget it. The audience member, like they did a
Oh,
Q&A, and
yeah.
he was like, "Is it coming to PC, please?" And he was like, "Don't you all have phones?" As if,
Yeah, you've got phones, don't you?
don't you Diablo fans just want to play this on your phone? I don't understand. And to circle that back, I don't know if you saw, but Diablo Immortal is coming to PC as well as phones.
Oh,
They officially announced that. They were flat out like, we know
oh,
that all of you would just emulate it anyways, so we're just gonna release it officially ourselves.
but, but Diablo 4 is coming out.
Yes, yes, it is. They they messed that up.
Oh my god. Way to go, Blizzard. Man, for it seemed like for the longest time Blizzard could do no wrong because
Right?
they were slapping out all the good stuff, and then they took like a real hard nosedive there.
Yeah, they were the best, one of the best, and then just nothing. Sad, sad.
Man,
Any any other trailers you've got? Those were the only three that I had.
yeah, that's it for me.
Okay. Then listeners, that was our trailer episode. That is what our discussions are going to be like. We're going to have topics to discuss, but I imagine we'll go on many tangents. And
Hmm.
yeah, thanks for checking this trailer episode out. We look forward to sharing tons of content with you over the future. This is going to be a long saga. We have a lot of stuff to talk
Oh yeah,
about. It's going to be tough to pick just one thing every week. Even now, like I just want to talk about stuff continuously.
I know I'm kind of mad that we're ending it, but I mean I understand we don't want to use up all of our content. I have a whole like notepad on my phone of like different topics and stuff, so
Same. And I want to give
we
you
got yeah.
time to think about my topic as well. That's something I'm yeah. But that's not for this trailer episode. We're done with the trailer episode. So listeners, follow us on Twitter or whatever podcast app you're listening to. It's Super Pod Saga on all the social media things. I'm sure I'll have that made soon. Um, anything else you'd like to say to the lovely listeners, Aaron?
Except yeah, just listen to us. I mean if you guys, I mean if anybody ever wants to suggest a topic or like suggest something we talk about, yeah, please do. Yeah, I'm always open for that.
Yeah, reach out on Twitter, or I have an email address. It's superpodsaga@gmail.com. That was available, and I'm so happy that it was. But thank you for listening. Have a great day, you beautiful listeners. Bye.